Hi everyone, so today in this session we're going to be looking at bringing length into the side body. So we're going to be working mostly with the trunk, sort of that's our main focus, obviously still thinking about the whole body, but we're going to be looking at a lot of side bends, looking at the lateral movement, but also working with some twists to kind of look. So we're going to be basing our movements a lot around the rib cage, the spine, looking at how that affects all of the rest of the body. Hopefully working a little bit more gently. I think I say that every time with a gentle class and it's never that gentle, but that's my intention. Always take it to the level, to the pose that feels most comfortable for you, to the level of the pose as well, and yeah, enjoy. So let's start as always sitting nice and comfortably. So just come into a sitting position, lifting the spine nice and tall, opening across the chest. Just give the shoulders a little wriggle, give the head and neck a little bit of movement, nothing too sudden, and then really broadening across the front of the collarbone. So I want to really make sure. So what we're aiming always is sort of thinking about the pelvis and the front of the pelvis, creating space at the front of the pelvis and the front of the chest, while the middle part of the belly and part of your torso is going to be engaging and closing, drawing in. So opening at the top and bottom and closing in the center. So that's kind of where we'll be thinking about with the trunk of the body. And therefore then at the back of the body, we're going to be engaging and shortening very gently through and around the shoulder blades and the spine, and supporting the lumbar spine and the mid spine with the sort of closing of the abdominal. So again, bringing a little bit of space around that very tight, often very tight area of the lower spine, and then again sort of engaging through the glutes, engaging through the pelvis as we think about releasing around the hips and the legs. So just taking your time to sort of draw your awareness around the body. Let the elbows hang. Just notice if you're sort of leaning really far forwards. This is a slight exaggeration. But just kind of thinking about leaning into the back of the body, lifting the torso, open across the chest. Let the elbows hang. And close your eyes. We're not going to stay here too long because we're going to be thinking about really working with the breath within the class. So just give the head a little bit of a wriggle, maybe from right to left. Feeling that lateral bend moving from side to side. And feeling the effect as you kind of really open the jaw. And give it a little wriggle, let go around the jaw, around through the temples, down through the neck, and across to the shoulders and the upper spine. And then draw the head back into the center, again leaning into the back of the spine to fire up those abdominals, open across your chest. And take 5 breaths here. Breathing in for at least 5 seconds, maybe 6, 7, or 8. And exhaling for the same count. Let that breath be long and slow as you start to draw your awareness into the session. Thinking about how the body feels and what you need from this class. Observing your energy levels, knowing therefore that will dictate how far you maybe push yourself, or if you want to be a little bit more restorative today, and just checking in with what you need from this session. And thinking about, as we'll be doing a lot of lateral bends as well as the twisting, with a lot of twisting work we have to really focus on where we are or aren't breathing, because when we twist we tend to compress the abdominal, so we have to take the breath to other parts of the torso. So just being aware of where you are breathing at the moment, the fact that you can take nice full breaths down to the belly, round to the spine, out to the sides of the ribs, all the way up to the jaw and the collarbones. And I want you to really think about your breath with these movements. So you're thinking about where the breath can go, where it can't go, where you can then push it a little deeper. And that should also help you get a little deeper within the postures. And keep relaxing your forehead and your jaw. And on your 5th exhalation, slowly open your eyes. Bring your hands either side of you and just press the fingertips or the palms, depending on the length of, or your proportions, depending on your arms and torso length. And just make sure that you're comfortable so you can push down against the floor, open across the chest, close and squeeze against the abdominals gently. And again, just letting the head drop to one side, opening across the chest. Feel that stretch come all the way down through to your wrist. Feel that breath move around the pecs to the shoulder blade, all the way up to the jaw, all the way to the sides of the ribs. And then exhale, gently release. Slowly lengthening over to the other side, pushing down through the hands, squeeze against the shoulder blades behind you. And again, move that breath as deep as you can, all the way up to the jaw, towards the teeth, down towards the shoulders, around to the back of the spine, down to the sides of the ribs. You might find if you've got a particularly tight neck that this stretch is quite strong, and as you take that deep inhalation, it makes that stretch just a little bit, maybe too much, so be careful with this movement, especially with the breath. And then come back to the center, and gently releasing, give the shoulders a wriggle again, give the neck a little bit of a wriggle. Keeping soft within the movements, and then again, take the fingers a little wider, and I want you to slide along to the right, and just press into the hands, so not kind of dropping too far, just keeping that resistance to begin with, and then reach the left arm in the opposite direction. So you're creating a diagonal line with your hands. Keep pushing against the wrist, keep opening across the chest. And then slowly start to lift your arm up a little higher up towards the ceiling again. So you're making a little bit more space around the side of your rib cage. Breathing into the ribs. And then again, keep this arm still active and just reach the arm up and over your head. We tend to just collapse into this side of the body, but I want you to think about breathing, lifting and lengthening. Turning the ribs up to the ceiling. Take 2 more breaths here. Keep reaching this arm high. The wrist tends to drop, the elbows tend to bend. And again, where's the head? Thinking about that space you're creating, as well as the strength you bring. And on your next exhalation, slowly use this arm to lift yourself back up. I want you to think about as mindfully as you can, or consciously as well, when you come out of the positions, because that's often when we tend to do damage. So, being as strong as you go into the poses as when you come out. And gently again, lengthen over to the left, press into the hands, making sure again you're not kind of dropping down. There's an engagement through the torso, opening across the chest. Really lengthen those arms diagonally away. Pushing the floor away, squeezing the belly again, make sure you'll find that your head is wanting to hang. Draw it back up so it's in line. Pressing into the floor the one time. Making sure that you're engaging your abdominals. I don't know where I was going with that, but anyway, gently lift the arms up and then reach the arms a little higher. So now you're taking up to the ceiling again. Don't collapse into the fingers. Keep reaching up as high as you can, and then if you've got a little more space, lengthen the arm up and over. This is definitely my tightest side, so just being a little aware of which side is easier or harder. Where the restriction might be coming from. Is it in your lower spine? Is it in your shoulder girdle? Keep breathing and just being aware around the body. Take 1 more breath. Lengthening. Really reach those fingers up. Don't let them drop down. And on your next exhalation, slowly release, lift all the way back up, and lengthen again, back over. We're just going to do this 2 times. Dropping down now. You can start to bend the elbow this time, so we're taking it a little deeper. If the elbow touches, work with that, but make sure your whole body doesn't come with you, so keep the pelvis opening. You might have to start with the elbow dropping down close to the body, or take it a little further. You decide where it goes. And then again, really open the chest, squeeze the belly, and then slowly release, lifting the left arm up. That might be enough. Thinking about making a bit more space. Turning the palm now so it's closing down towards the side of your head. So originally it was reaching up, now it's turning, so you're making that movement through the shoulder joint and then reaching a little further. Again, try not let the arm just kind of hang. Bring a bit of action into that stretch. Keep letting go of this left side of your pelvis and knee. Breathing into the abdominals, into the ribs, into the chest. Take 1 more breath. And exhale, lift back up. Again, don't just kind of hold yourself. Make space as you reach high, and then we'll go to the other side. Dropping down onto your elbow, either close to the body, or maybe not dropping onto the elbow, but somewhere near, or a little further away. Again, you find what works on this side of the body. Really thinking about pulling gently, not hard. Reaching this right shoulder back, head level. And then again, if you've got space, let's move with the arm. If your shoulder will allow, reach the arm up, and again, turn the palm now, so it's going to be looking like it's eventually touching the floor. Lift up, And then reaching a little further over again, breathing into the sides of the body. Make sure your hip and knee doesn't come with you in order to get to it deeper into the pose. Don't worry, if you're still up here, it might be that you just kind of dropped your elbow into your ribs and that's comfortable and you're going to stay with that. If you can go deeper, work a little deeper. But notice if you start to roll forwards or out of alignment, work within your comfort level. And then see if you can push it a little deeper by breathing, stretching that breath a little deeper. Oof, this side is tight this morning. Take one more breath. And lifting all the way back up. Bring the body back into the center, give the shoulders a wriggle, palms facing up. Closing your eyes. One more breath. And on your next exhalation, gently open your eyes. Inhale, reach the arms up, press the palms together, squeeze into the center, and gently twist round to your right, squeezing the belly and looking behind you. So again, noticing we've got quite an open twist here, so you can breathe down to the belly. Take one more breath. And then inhale, raise the arms up. And exhale, twist round to the left. So you're pressing onto the knee, bring the other hand behind you, lifting and lengthening through the spine. So again, what tends to happen in order to get into a twist is we kind of lean behind us and kind of drop back and then lift up. Try and think about bringing this arm behind you, and that acts as your pillar to help your spine keep in line and then take that movement. So you're just moving more through the ribs than from the actual lower spine. Take one more breath, twisting the neck a little further. And then exhale, ready to lift those arms all the way up, and then soften, coming back to the center. Softening here. Again, give the shoulders, give the neck a little wriggle, round into the spine, and then pull the chest forwards, just kind of rolling through a sitting cat curl. Just releasing, bringing a little bit more length in through the spine. And then gently release, come back to the center. Now, we're going to come onto all fours, spread your fingers and press your hands down to the ground. Squeezing through your belly, again, so just making sure that you're not dropping down to the floor, the shoulders aren't hunching. There's a slight elevation, so you're pushing the spine up towards the ceiling. Flex the toes, and then inhale, lift up to downward dog. So let's keep the knees really bent so you can lengthen the spine. We're just going to come into a downward dog twist. So take it nice and gentle. Just take your time to settle into the pose. Maybe you might want to straighten one leg at a time. We'll keep both knees bending and just kind of bounce the hips, maybe rock the hips from right to left. Again, you make any movements that your body currently feels like it needs. Take this time to not always just do everything that I say, just thinking about what feels right for your body this morning. Starting to find a little more intuition with how you want and need to move your body. Relax your neck and shoulders. And on your next exhalation, gently lift your right hand off the floor. So it might be that lifting your right hand off is not possible because it puts too much pressure on your shoulders or wrists. If you can't do that, don't worry, just tuck your chin and look up towards your armpit. So you're just twisting gently through the neck. If you can take it further, we're going to reach the right arm off and feed it underneath the body. Grab hold of either your hip, your thigh, calf, or ankle, and then push both heels down, twist, and look up to the ceiling. Wherever you have hold of, what tends to happen is we just kind of let go of the knees and the body's just kind of pulling towards the floor. Think about lifting up through the hips, rooting down through the heels. Your legs, both feet are active, especially that right one, because as we twist to the left, we tend to forget about it. Take one more breath. And then exhale, release. Press down through your hands, squeeze through your belly. And again, if you don't want to lift the arms, just tuck your chin towards your right armpit. And just beginning to feel that twist, so you're wrapping around from your left shoulder blade as you tuck the head towards the armpit. If you can take it further, bring that left arm, feed it through, grabbing hold of either the pelvis, thigh, calf, or ankle. And again, notice that my heels want to lift off, and then I think I'm in the position. But what I want to then do is pull the hips back and engage through the legs. Then use that, because that's anchoring you as you hold onto the side of your leg and twist, bringing the ribs and the torso a little further through underneath your armpit, looking up to the ceiling. Make sure you're still leaning into the left side of your hip, not just twisting all the way to the right. Take one more breath. And exhale, release, press down through your hands and have a little breather, dropping onto your knees. Bring your hands behind you and soften here. One more breath. Really allow the body to let go. And then exhale slowly. Really slide your hands out in front of you. Roll up onto all fours and then drop your pelvis down to the ground. And then rolling onto the right side of your body, pressing onto your right forearm. So again, I've realised that at the bottom of my screen it's very dark, so hopefully you can see. Underneath me there is a gap, so you're not just kind of dropping all the way down to the floor. There's engagement again, like we were doing within that first sitting pose, so you're pushing and opening across the chest. So this might be enough. It also might be that you want to bend the knees in this position to make it a little softer, and just stay with this. Again, noticing my head is currently in a very strange position, so bring your head so it's in line with your spine. If you can then straighten the legs, work with that and flex the feet. So you're then bringing action through the whole of the body and keep resisting. So inhale, lift. Now this left arm up. If that's enough, stay with that. Or begin to bring your arm over your head. And just making a couple of movements. Keep moving through this position. If you want to take it further, you can bend the knees, you can push the floor away, and you can lift the hips up. Taking that movement a little deeper. Again, yeah, that might mean you can take that stretch a little higher up so the hips are lifting. Again, if you want to take it up another stage, keep the legs engaging, press down through the floor, lift up and lengthen away. You decide. That might be way too strong for your shoulders, so just drop back a level if you need to, and just keep moving that joint. Keep resisting. Taking a couple more breaths. And then holding in this one position, pressing down through the floor, squeeze through the belly. Again, you might have the legs straight, you might be lifted. And on your next exhalation, slowly release, and we'll come around to the other side. So rolling onto your forearms, and then roll round. And I won't have my back to you. So rolling around onto the other way. Now my light has broken. So gently coming onto the other side, pressing onto your left forearm, squeezing the thighs. Again, maybe start with the knees bent. Make sure the shoulder's directly underneath your, the elbows underneath your shoulder. And really resist again. Make sure there's strength in through this underside of the body. Press into your hand, and again, maybe that's enough. And start to lift the arm up. So as you lift up, there's a lightness in the pose, not kind of dropping down. Keep squeezing. Again, bring the head. I'm working in reverse so my head doesn't know where to go. Bring the head back so it's in line with your shoulders and spine. Reaching up. And again, maybe starting with that initial movement. Just moving around the shoulder girdle. Moving with the breath. Breathing into the side of the ribs. You can find that the hips and this side of the belly wants to lift up a little more as you take that movement. It might be now we bend the knees and lift the hips up. It also might be the holding that so you can kind of drop down and lift up. You again just work with what feels right for your body. If you want to work with the full one, again lift the whole body up and lengthen. Keep pressing through the forearm. Keep squeezing, keep lengthening as far away as you can. And making sure if you have anything near you that it's not going to fall on your head. Just deciding where you want to work with on this side. Trying to keep it balanced. If you did this on the other side, work with the same strength. So keep lengthening. We'll do a couple more. Keep moving through the torso. Keep engaging through your belly, your inner thighs, whether the knees are bent or not. Finding a little more space as you stretch just a little further. And on your next exhalation, we'll hold here. Again, if you want to work up, you can lift the legs. If you're feeling tired this morning, just stay down and keep reaching, keep reaching, keep reaching. Find that space through the ribs. And then exhale, gently release. Roll back onto your forearms. And then just gently give the hips a little wriggle. Let the head tuck down. Press into your hands, knees and toes. And pull back to downward dog. Spreading your fingers, squeezing through the abdominals. Staying here for a couple of breaths. And on your next exhalation again, gently release, dropping onto your knees. Bring your hands behind you and breathe again into the back of the body. Softening, releasing. One more breath. And on your next exhalation, round your spine slowly or lowly, bringing your spine back up and swing the legs out in front of you. So bringing the legs, come sort of halfway down the mat so you've got space. to come behind you. We're going to have the legs engaging, draw the belly back, and really lift through the spine so you're not kind of dropping into the back of the body. Keep flexing the feet, have the feet hip width apart, and really lift here, let the elbows kind of rest, opening across the front. And just taking a couple of breaths here, letting the body adjust to this new position, so you're really keeping everything pushing down and lifting up at the same time. Thinking about your alignment. Take one more breath here. Now we're going to come into the twist. So from here, reach your arms up, finding loads of length as you lift up. And then begin by just twisting round to the right. What tends to happen is we just kind of bend the legs and bring everything with us. So keep the legs rooted. If you have a bolster or another person to kind of hold your legs down, very useful. If you don't, just think about trying to really root through your left leg. On your next exhalation, staying here, still twisting. Now you've got two options. You can either just bring the hands down onto the floor and stay with that twist, and then tuck your chin to your chest. So you take it a little higher up into your neck and spine. That might be enough. And you can start to kind of drop back. If you want to take it further, keeping those arms raised, and then take those arms diagonally behind you, and you're reaching back. So you're taking that twist through the whole of the rib cage and reaching behind you. This bum is going to want to lift up and push it back down. Twist, twist, twist again, tuck your chin to your chest. And we're aiming to drop the head down. Impossible for me to talk and do this at the same time. But you're thinking about bringing your head down. So again, in this position, when you're tucking your head down, it feels like, oh my God, how am I ever going to get there? Don't worry, you won't necessarily get there, but you're just thinking about the space, that twist you're bringing in, the release through the spine and through the rib cage at the back. Keep tucking your chin. Feel that nice compression through the belly, that twist through the belly all the way through to your lats. And then exhale, gently release, come back to the center. And we'll come to the other side. So showing you from the front, inhale, lift up, keep reaching up as high as you can, lift, 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 make loads of space, and then start with that twist. So you're really moving now over to the left. Keep the legs engaged, keep flexing through the feet, keep reaching high. One more breath. And then again, either doing the same as you did last time, just dropping the hands behind you, bringing that twist through from the center, and then tuck your chin to your chest to drop the head down. If that's enough, stay with that. If you want to take it further, lifting up, twisting, and taking the hands all the way back and dropping behind you. So again, it might be comfortable to kind of drop down onto the forearm. So you're really lengthening away, not just trying to drop directly down. Keep lengthening. Notice this bum wants to lift off. Push it back and drop the head, really tucking the chin towards the chest, squeezing through the belly, releasing around the neck and the spine. Notice that the breath isn't so easy as we're kind of slightly compressed now up in this twist up around the upper torso, and it can feel quite restrictive, so just be really gentle with this. If it's feeling super not right for you, then just come up a little higher. Just think about how this pose can benefit you, not feel like torture. Taking two more breaths. Keep breathing, keep tucking your chin, keep pressing the legs and feet away, keep drawing up through the center. One more breath. And exhale, gently release. Coming out is often slightly harder. Reach, lift high as you can, and then gently soften. Bring your hands onto your thighs again, give the shoulders a wriggle, maybe round into the spine and lead with the chest kind of releasing through the upper body. Softening here, now cross your legs, trying to cross your legs in the opposite way to the way you normally would. So you're trying to release the other side of your pelvis. Lift your spine nice and high, and again close your eyes. Keep breathing gently. One more breath and we'll come up to standing. So as you exhale, gently release, roll forwards onto your hands, onto your knees, and swing the legs round behind you. Lifting up into downward dog, and we'll slowly transition to a forward fold. Let the head hang, take one more breath. And then exhale, slowly step your right foot and then your left foot towards the front of the mat again. So maybe start really soft, the bum's kind of pushing back, but the belly is really heavy on the thighs. There's no kind of gap between there. So again, it might mean that you have to bend them a little more, and then lean into your toes. Letting the head hang, starting to lift up through the inner thighs. Let the body hang, let the neck be long. And just let the weight, let the gravity kind of draw you down. Feel like there's space drawing in through between the back of the neck, the upper spine, all the way to where the spine attaches to the pelvis through to the sacrum. Keep leaning forwards, maybe starting to straighten those legs a little, maybe rocking. And then exhale, bend those knees even more and roll your spine all the way up to standing, lifting nice and high. Pressing down through the floor, standing hip width apart, open across the chest. Relaxing your neck and throat. One breath here, really root through the feet and feel like there's a lightness, you're lifting out of your ankles. And on your next exhalation, bring your feet together. So now sliding your hands down your thighs. So we're going to slide down, keeping everything in line, dropping as low as you feel comfortable, and bring back up. Lengthening down. Feel that nice stretch come through your pelvis into your ribs, taking each movement as slow or as deep as you feel comfortable with. Making sure your neck isn't doing all of the work by hanging down. Keep lifting and engaging through the torso. Again, if you want to start to bring the other arm up, you can take that breath into the ribs and slowly release. Keep pressing through the feet. Again, you have to use your inner thighs, your core a little here to make sure you don't just topple over to one side. And just really rippling through the side of the body, breathing as deep as you can into the neck, the throat, the shoulders, the side ribs. Couple more times. And then exhale, release. Come to the center and slowly open your feet so now that they're hip width apart. Engage through the core, lift up through the legs, root down through the feet. We're going to repeat the same thing, just noticing how it feels now we have a slightly different position with the legs. Maybe it's a little more comfortable to go deeper. Maybe it's not. Normally it is, but let's see. Just listening to what your body feels like it needs. And just making sure that, again, what tends to happen as we drop to one side is we tend to go forwards to get down. So thinking about, it might be nice to use a wall, but you're going along the line of your body. Keep pressing, and again, if you want to start to reach the arm up, use the arm. When you're coming back up, be really careful. So again, imagine you're trying to touch the top of the room to come back up. You're using that upper arm and the core to lift yourself, lifting back up safely, being careful with the neck. Don't let the head drop too far down. Each time just seeing if you've got a little more space. Being careful with the knees, obviously if you need to keep them bent, by all means do, but make sure that you're not kind of twisting the knees or kind of moving through the legs too much. I've lost my movement. Gently lifting high and dropping low. One more time each side. Breathing into the sides of the body. And then come all the way back to the center. Now again, open your legs even wider, and we'll come into triangle pose. So we're going to keep moving. So what I want you to make sure you're doing is that as you turn to the right, you're turning the foot out. And then you turn in and move. So keep thinking about moving the feet now. So you've got to work a little harder, making sure you're not just keeping the feet parallel. So arms out at the side, right foot out, drop down, and lift up. Turn the foot out, drop down. Keep the arms straight so you're not thinking about taking the arms over your head just yet. Just noticing again, it might be that you stay high, and that's fine. Just working with the limit, which is what feels right for your body. Make sure the thighs are strong. Each time maybe you want to start moving a little slower, so you can be really mindful of what's going on and if you can go maybe a little deeper. Squeezing and lifting back up. Making sure you're still turning the foot. Opening across the chest. Breathing into the sides of the ribs. Couple more times. And now again we'll bring the arm over the head if that's comfortable. If it isn't, just stay with this. If you feel you can work with reaching the arm up and over, lift up. So you're really drawing a nice big semicircle with your arms. Turning those feet, squeezing through the belly. I'm definitely finding each time I turn my legs are getting a little wider. So move and adjust as much as you need. Dropping down or staying nice and high. Again, it might just be you stay up, nice and high. Work within your limits so you're thinking about this line, you're moving with the breath. And then we'll hold here, reaching all the way along to the right. Turn your ribs up to the ceiling. Squeeze through the belly, breathe here, 2 more breaths. One last breath, reach just a little further, don't let that wrist drop down. And safely come all the way back up. Turn your feet and come all the way around. Either keep the arm up, or if you've got a little more space, take the arm up and over your head, turning the ribs. Keep your head in line with your neck, squeeze through your belly. Press down through your feet and breathe. One more breath. Allow that breath to be slow to aid a little more comfort within the posture. And exhale, slowly release, come all the way back up. Come back to the center, palms facing forwards. Jump those feet together or step. Squeeze through the thighs, pressing down through the feet, closing your eyes, and just listening to the body. If you feel unstable with the feet together, then do, especially with the eyes closed, do just step a little bit away so your legs are open. Now from here, keeping the eyes closed, take one more breath. Relax your neck, relax your shoulders. And we'll come back down to the floor. So as you exhale, slowly turn back to the front of the mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fall down. Press down through your left foot. Step your right leg back and drop the right knee down. Lifting up, press onto your left hand, onto your knee, and twist to look over your shoulder. That might be enough if you want to take it further. Reach your left arm up to the ceiling. And again, if you want to take it further, lift the back knee and push the heel away. You decide. Keep twisting. Take one more breath. Notice your belly is very compressed here, so you have to take that breath round to the ribs and the back of the spine. One more breath. Push that back heel if you've got the knee lifted. And release. Hands down. And step back. Bring your right leg forwards. Drop your left knee down. Press your right hand onto your thigh. Left hand down to the floor. And again, just start with that initial twist. So you're looking up to the ceiling. Opening across the chest, squeezing through the belly. Staying here. Let me turn around so I can see you. And then gently reach the arm up. Stay here. Or again, lift the back knee if it feels comfortable. Really keep the pelvis closing and draw that movement again from the belly, through the ribs, up to the fingertips. Take one more breath here, really lifting and lengthening, twisting. Breathing into the spine, not to the belly because you can't. And then exhale, slowly release, hands down. Come back, downward dog. Pressing down through your hands. On your next exhalation, slowly release, dropping onto your knees. And then slowly release back onto your heels. Lift your torso nice and high. Again, give the shoulders a wriggle, breathing into the edges of your body. And then gently, slightly longer session, but we're just going to finish with a sitting twist. So roll down onto the side of your pelvis. So you're pointing your knees to the left. And we're going to swing the right leg up and over. So the important thing is that both sit bones are down on the ground and the big toe is touching, knees pointing up. If that doesn't happen, just keep sliding the foot round, maybe in line with your knee, until you find that you're not kind of twisting. So make sure that the pelvis is straight. This underneath knee is pointing forwards. You decide the foot can be there, there, or there. Again, it might be super uncomfortable with the leg underneath to be bent. You can also do this with this leg straight. And then it might be easier to take the foot over. So you decide legs straight or bent for the underneath leg, and shimmy this foot so that the pelvis is square. Open across the chest, reach the torso high, and then bring this left arm across. So you're taking the upper arm across your thigh and use that as your pivot. Now opening the right hand behind you, twisting and looking over your shoulder. So again, from this position, what tends to always happen is we lean back, kind of get real relaxed, and then twist, which does feel really nice. We're going to think about really stacking the shoulders, stacking the spine, and keeping that length and lift here. Notice that once we've taken the arm over, that the shoulder wants to kind of stay quite high. So if that's not comfortable with the arm over and the shoulder can't drop, then bring the hands just in front and just kind of hug the leg. That can be quite nice to take that stretch a bit deeper through the thigh. Taking a couple more breaths here. One more breath, again, really compress through the belly here, so we have to take the breath up around the ribs at the side, at the back of the spine. Press, my big toes are totally not touching, but press those big toes down. Take one last breath, and then release, come back to the center. And bring the legs together, and then swap to the other side, bringing the legs over to the left, and take that foot over. Again, if you had the other leg straight, then straighten that leg out, and shuffle the feet so your legs and body are comfortable and balanced. So you're really pressing both sit bones down and you're lifting your spine. Take a little bit of time to get comfortable. Keep broadening across your collarbones. Keep lifting this knee up. Keep softening here. And on your next exhalation, gently, we'll bring the right arm across. So again, you're kind of drawing the knee in, taking that elbow across, and then sliding this left arm behind you and twisting to look over. So you can either have this hand active, you can bring the hand down onto the spine, hip, or again, take the arm in front of the thigh if that makes the shoulder kind of stay a bit more level. You decide what feels right for you. Breathing into the back of the body, keep using this leg as a nice lever, whether you've got hold or pushing against it. Keep pressing into this big toe, keep lifting through the spine. So again, you haven't leaned back to get into this position. Keep the belly sucking back. And take 2 more breaths. One more breath. And then slowly release. Come back to the center. Release your legs, press onto your hands and give them a little kick. And then press your feet down to the floor. Wrap your hands around your legs, tuck your chin to your chest. Exhale, gently release. And slowly make your way onto your spine, rolling onto the back of the body. And then gently bring your knees to your chest. Have a little rock from right to left. And then gently soften, sliding the legs away. One last pose, but really soft and restorative. Take your arms up and over your head and just walk your feet to the right of your mat. So you don't have to go deep into this pose. Lots of people tend to just go as deep as you can, but keep it really passive. Literally just walk your feet together over to the right. Keep your pelvis where it is. And then just shift your shoulders and your arms, again, also over to the right side of your mat. So you're not really coming off the mat at all. You were in the middle and you've just shifted slightly to one side. You're kind of drawing a sort of long crescent moon or kind of banana position. Make sure that both shoulders are in contact. Again, if you go too far, what you'll find is that this left shoulder is going to kind of reach off and kind of come away from the floor. So I want to make sure that you can keep both arms and the back of your spine down to the ground. So just being really passive here, enjoying all that length we brought in, and now taking it a little deeper through to the pelvis and the ankles. Really slow the breath down. Tuck your chin to your chest, lengthening. And as you exhale, slowly release. Come back to the center, rolling back into the middle of the mat. And then gently shift your legs, just your legs over to the left. Keep your pelvis in the middle. And then shift your upper body, your shoulders and your arms also over to the left, making sure still the back of your body can be in full contact with the mat. So it might mean that you don't move that much. If you have to shuffle back closer to the center, that's fine. You'll still find this length and space drawing in, even with a slight movement over to one side. Keep thinking about pushing your lower spine, especially on the right, back down to the floor. Engaging softly through your abdominals, tucking your chin, maybe closing your eyes, and just listening to the length coming into the body, listening to the breath moving around as we slow down and wind down towards the end of the class. Take one last breath here, and then again we'll slowly make our way back to the center. Going back into a nice straight line, let's bring the knees into the chest. Lift the nose to the knees, relax the shoulders, and then gently drop the head back down. And it's time for relaxation. So grab any warmth you need, any cushions, any supports. Keep the knees bent if you have any tension in the spine. If not, lengthen those legs away, palms face up. Make sure you're really comfortable here, and I'm going to get sitting. So letting the body release as much as you can, dropping deep down to the ground. And keeping your eyes closed and your focus within the body, within the breath. Let's just take one long deep breath in. As you inhale, I want you to clench every part of your body, your face, your hands, your feet, your stomach, your legs, your bum, everything. Really squeeze, 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 squeeze. And as you exhale, release, relax, and let go. Actively drawing tension in and then actively releasing can be really useful, especially at the end of a nice, stressful day. So just thinking about how you can then really actively override the nervous system. All that breath work we've done, but also now we're going to focus a little bit more on helping also to work a little deeper with connecting with the rest and repair part of your nervous system. Let the head be heavy, the shoulders, hands, pelvis, and legs. Keep allowing the softness to roll around the body. And keep focusing on your breath. If you find your mind wandering, then just keep focusing on counting, inhaling and exhaling for the same count. Relaxing from the top of your head, releasing your forehead, eyebrows and eyes. Each exhalation connecting and softening a little more. Releasing from your temples, across your cheeks and down your nose. Releasing around the mouth, the lips, the teeth and the tongue, the whole of the jaw, heavy. Softening through the ears to the back of the head, releasing down the neck and the throat. Gently softening and releasing across the top of the spine, around the shoulder blades, the shoulders heavy on the ground. Releasing from your shoulders onto your arms as you soften and let go of your upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, the whole of the hands, each finger, slowly softening again and again. Moving the breath and the relaxation onto your spine as you soften down each vertebra, the whole spine releasing from right to left and top to bottom. Let go of the back of the body, softening from the spine through the ribs, wrapping round across the front of the torso. Slowly releasing across the chest and down the ribs. Slowly releasing across the whole of the belly and down to the pelvis. Releasing the pelvis, the pelvic floor, the hips and the glutes. Softening again and again. Releasing down through to your legs as you soften the whole of the upper legs, the knees, lower legs, ankles, the whole of the feet, each toe letting go. Release, relax and soften. Keep working around the body as you soften consciously from the top of the head to the base of the feet. Feel that breath moving around the whole of the chest, breathing to the spine, down to the floor, out to the sides of the ribs towards the arms, moving the rib cage and belly up to the ceiling. Feel that fullness of the breath. Feel the effect that breath has on your nervous system, on the whole system of the body. Listening, softening, releasing. And if you'd like to stay here a little longer, then pause me and stop from talking. If not, gently, keeping your eyes closed, begin to bring a bit of movement into the body. Begin to wriggle your fingers, wriggle your wrists and toes, wriggle your neck, slowly bringing movement. On your next inhalation, reach your arms up and over your head, lengthen your fingers away from your toes. And then as you exhale, wrap your hands around your legs, bring your knees into your chest and squeeze into a tight ball. On your next exhalation, rolling onto the side of your body and resting here for a couple of breaths, releasing and softening. And whenever you're ready, make your way up to a comfortable sitting position. Taking a couple of moments to adjust, to observe all that work we've done, and thinking about how you feel now compared to the beginning of the class. And as always, we'll take 3 breaths, counting how long you inhale for, exhaling for the same count. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. If anyone has any desires for a certain type of class, then do just leave me a message in any of the boxes, or send me an email, and I can make a class more specifically. But if you have any certain desires, if not, I'll just keep churning out some more of the similar kind of vibe that I'm doing. Have a lovely day, and see you soon.